Hi, I've released my next version of my mapping software. So now you can add a GPX file or KML file or a GeoJSON file, and I'll zoom into it and I'll animate it or I'll fade it in or fade it out. I'll show you basically what it can do. Okay. So here it's going to be following a track. So you put the start location there and the end location at the end. So I'll only pan in a straight line at the moment. The next version, which I'm currently working on, you're going to be able to put points. So from the start to the end. So you have intermediate points. So if the track goes around a corner, or whatever you're following, or follow it. I'm also going to make it so it I'll it's going to be the next version. So here it's just following the track. Okay. You can still switch maps and stuff like that. It's the same as the first version. Zoom out. I've also added see how it's oh, I didn't do it on that one, sorry. At the start here it's yes, how it's all blurry here. You can switch that on and off, so it gives it sort of a motion feel to it. Okay, and you can so you can draw polygons like that and have it fill it, fade it out, pan to another place and fade it in, fade it out, or animate it, whatever you like to do, any color you like. And here's just doing the whole world just as a show what it can do, sort of thing. And I'll show you the front end. Okay, so here we have it. So here you can just load it up here. I'll show you this one. This is the whole world. So what it looks like here is not what it looks like in the video. This is what it'll look like in the video. Okay, I've got that there. If I because I've limited it to 3,000 segments I can draw on the map here. Otherwise, you won't be able to do that because it's getting, every time you do that, it's getting redrawn every time you move. So it frees the map, or yeah. So I've limited this to 3,000, and if it's over 3,000, it's only 1 or 2 pixels for each line. But like I said, that's what it will look like. Okay, and 96,000. So what happens when you animate it? It draws the first segment on the first frame. So the first frame will draw 1,629 segments. Then the following frame will draw them segments plus the next 1,600 segments. Then the next frame, on and on and on and on. So it will get really, really slow the further on it goes. So what I've done here, that's for really long. That's 96. It's the whole world. So if it's a really detailed, if it's really detailed, but most like tracks and that are nowhere near this long. But what I've done this. Okay, reduces the segments. Okay, so I'll show you an example. So that's extremely aggressive. So they'll just be like blocky. So it's all blocky up to. It's still 94,000. So you want to try and get it down to about 20,000 to 30,000. So that's probably still a bit. And yeah, that's probably right. You're probably not even going to notice the difference between that. Have I got the full one still open? No. And preview. So you're not going to tell the difference between. You can't really tell the difference, can you? Okay. It's only because it's so. Some of them are so detailed. You might notice a bit around here. No. Yeah, unless you're really, really zoomed in, and it's you're not going to tell the difference. But if you're really, really zoomed in, you're not going to use the whole world anyway. Okay, you're just going to use like a bit of a country or something like that, a coastline, whatever. Okay, so we'll clear this and we'll just add another one. We'll say Kentucky. Okay, so if we want to animate that, okay, so this is the end zoom. I've also added. I'll show you here. So if you want to get it tight, I've also added because these are raster tiles. So you can't actually zoom in like 7. What are we on? 7.1, 7.2. raster tiles are only go up even numbers, like 7, 8, 9, 10. But I've added this so you can get it tighter now. So this is effectively zoom 7.8. Okay, and this here is 1080p. Okay, because it's closer to zoom 8, which would be that. Okay, so that's zoom 8. Okay, so this is the same. So we'll just do there anyway. Set. This here, this is if you're using street maps. So when it's 8.2, or when it's zooming, it uses the tiles up. So this will be using zoom 9 tiles to build 8.2. Okay, if you do that, this will be using zoom 8 tiles to build 8.2. Okay, so it's if you're on street maps, it makes everything larger. So the fonts, the labels for towns and cities and what have you will be larger, which is what you want. So for mobile phones and stuff like that, you'll be able to read the fonts. Okay, so we'll just set that. We'll close that. You can make it invisible if you want. Yep. Okay, and so we'll zoom into that, and we'll do it at the end. So when it's finished zooming, we'll animate for, we'll just do 2 seconds. If you want to do it from zoom start, like that first one where it followed the track, you have to adjust it by that, the number of zoom frames, not the, okay, because you can't have both animation length and zoom frames. You've got to one or the other. Okay, so we'll do it at end. Animating, you can have fade and animate at the same time, so as it's getting drawn, it'll sort of fade in as well. Okay, so we'll just run that. Output. Okay, this reverses. So what happens is when it zooms in, it fades in, and when it zooms out, it fades out, or it draws when it zooms in. This reverses the order. So when it zooms in, it'll fade out. That's for when you've got it at the same zoom level. So if you've got the world view 2.9 and 2.9, you can like fade in a country, then fade out a country. So you'd fade in the country, and then you'd reverse, and it would fade out. Okay, because when it's panning on the same zoom level, it uses the zoom in logic. Okay, so that's that done. And that will just be that'll just, yeah. So this is Kentucky. Okay, and then so to zoom it out again, you just switch that. We'll fade it out this time. So just animate, fade out. This time not at the end, because that's when it's zoomed out. You do it at the start. So when it's at 8.2, and we'll just do hold start frames. We'll give it a bit more so we can sort of see what it's doing. Oops. Okay, run. At start, fade 40. Maybe give it a bit more. Okay. So give it a different name. Okay, and so that's the blur on zoom. So you can turn that off if you want. Scale with zoom. It kind of works. It doesn't really. It's when you're zooming out or zooming in, the lines will get smaller and smaller and smaller. So yeah, you have to just play around with it. This place. Okay, I'll show you. This place. So this here. This. Okay, we'll just show you that. So that's just zooming out now. So it fades out and this zooms out. Okay. You can see the time that was probably should be a bit longer, a bit shorter. What was I saying? The yes, this here. So you can see the red line on the inside there. This is more if you've got it up. You can see. I'll show you what I mean. And we'll give it. You can't see it because it's the same color. We'll just do the random color. Okay. So you got the blue line inside there. If you don't want that in there, you put there, and that will be just, yeah. So you see small. It's gone. It's invisible. To reverse, persistent. That's just always on. So it's drawn on every frame from zoom in to zoom out. Invisible. What we said before. Incremental. If you're doing a lot of lines, like I showed you before here, if they're reduced segments, But if you're doing a lot and you don't want to reduce, you just click this one. You can only do it as zoom start, at start and at end. What this does is that the first frame draws 174 frames. The next frame will use that frame to draw the next 174. So you can do 100,000, 200,000, you can probably do a million. But you can't fade. You can't fade when you're doing it this way because the previous frame's already got drawing on it, so you can't fade. You can't use anti-aliasing either because the joins between each line it just won't look very good. So you can it's anti-aliasing's off, and I think that's about it. So like I said, the next you can just make an image if you want as well. So if you just want to make an image of whatever you want, you just I would just build an image of that there. So if you just want to build an image of the world, which is zoomed out. Okay, that's already done. It's just pretty much instant image. So that's just what I did. All this so there. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, the next version that I'm going to release, you're going to be able to track. You're going to be able to track. Sometimes that does that. It's just the way it is. Sometimes I'm going to do it so you can have intermediates. So when you're following a track, you can have intermediate points. So if it's going around the corner, you can put a point there, and follow it. So we'll just constantly follow the track around a circle or whatever direction it's going. And yeah, I think that's about it. Okay. You've got to help a little help. Oops. Ops. Did I not? I probably haven't copied it here. Where's help? Oh, I don't have help in there at the moment. Yeah, they'll take you to a help HTML page, which will be on you when you download it. You still need to add the FFmpeg path, so you still have to do that. So you can just switch this here to do a YouTube short. This I've changed the ending and start for short, so it's because it's just okay. This here is the color. This here is for this. I'll show you. This here it's for up here. So if you so I've already set it. You can't unset it, can you? So we'll just put that there. So when it zooms up there, if you put a point here, past here will be that color. Okay. I think that's about it. I don't know what's happened there. There we go. Okay. That's it.